Hi, I'm here with Steve Zuckerman. He's with Self-Help California, and he was helping lead the discussion today at a convening that the Silicon Valley Community Foundation and the San Francisco Federal Reserve Bank are having on alternatives to the payday debt trap. Steve, I understand Self-Help is helping create some of these alternatives, and specifically in California, you've started something called the microbranch. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. The microbranch actually right now is focused less on the payday lending problem and credit and more on providing responsible basic financial services. So unfortunately, a large part of the population is living paycheck to paycheck and in many cases using services that strip a lot of their very limited resources. So our model there is to provide some of those same services that, say, a check casher provides, because that's what the customer's used to doing, that's what they're comfortable with. Doing so a little bit less expensively, but more importantly, trying to create a path into the financial mainstream. So after maybe cashing 2 or 3 checks for a customer, saying to them, hey, you know, you've paid $17 in fees this month, we have a checkless checking account that wouldn't have that kind of fee attached to it. You could deposit your checks and then access the money as you need it. And maybe the first time we suggest that, they won't be quite comfortable enough with us to take us up on it, but maybe the second or the third or the fourth they will. So the idea is to offer them the products and services that they are used to, so they can come start working with us without having to change their behavior, and then trying to give them a path into the financial mainstream.
Right, right. That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about the discussion here this morning? What are the things you've been hearing? What's been surprising to you?
Sure. I mean, I think, you know, the discussion brings out yet again that it's a difficult problem. If it were as easy as, let's come up with a product that can outcompete the payday lenders, in all probability, there are a lot of smart people thinking about this. That would have happened already. I think the real problem is that the model the payday lenders have created, which really acts as a trap, it gets people who to borrow money that really are not going to be able to afford to pay it back, and they justify the pricing based on it being a one-time event, and therefore a fee, not an interest rate, is the logical measure. The problem is that in reality, most of the people who use payday loans get trapped and repeatedly use them, so it becomes almost a 400% interest rate revolving line of credit. You know, I think what's going on, and some of the panelists who talked today are developing some really interesting and innovative models, everything from very community-based lending groups that'll probably have a difficult time scaling on their own, but can offer replicable models that other community groups can use in their communities, to some innovative models that are trying to address the issue through employers or through typical bill collectors, companies that people have to pay month in and month out and often get into trouble. And that creates a much lower cost system so that hopefully they can build those models profitably, but at a much more reasonable interest rate. So I think there's some really interesting things going on. I think there was some good discussion about the need for policy solutions as well, and hopefully some more good things will come out of it.
Steve Zuckerman, thank you so much.
You're welcome.